Before you drive or park a motorhome in Spain, there are some rules that can literally cost you hundreds of euros, even if you parked legally. Some of these have completely shocked us, and we've been living here. Make sure you stick around for number 8, because that's a real shocker. And at the end, we give you the legal requirement on the V16. So, first up, parking versus camping in Spain, and they do take this rule very seriously.
Now, essentially, you can camp anywhere you can legally park, but the minute you look like you're living in your camper, that's when you break the rules.
So, what are the things that designate camping? Well, first of all, putting your awning out. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? If you've got your awning out, it looks like you're settled in for the night. So, no awnings. But this one's a really surprising one. If you've got your step out, they consider that as camping.
Yeah.
So if you're going out, for instance, just down to the shop and you've parked up your wagon, make sure you put your step back in. Otherwise, that's considered as camping.
And then chocks on your wheels or levelling ramps, that's also considered camping. And then one that surprised me is having your windows open beyond the footprint of the vehicle. So that's windows that push out to the sides. The ones in the roof are okay, but anything that pushes out to the sides and is bigger than the footprint, that is overstepping a mark.
Now, a really obvious one as well is tables, chairs and barbecues. Now, very often we've been to airs, haven't we, Gary? And everyone's got their kit out or on a car park. That's illegal. That constitutes camping. And that is one of the primary reasons why they close down facilities for everybody.
Yeah.
So in order to make sure that there are parking facilities for people to stay overnight, you have to adhere to this rule. They're very clear about parking versus camping. And we don't ever put our stuff out to look as if we're camping, do we?
No.
But we have been guilty of putting our levelling ramps up, haven't we?
Have, absolutely.
And we've opened our windows when I'm cooking. So you have to be very careful. These are very easy to fall into the wrong category, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very easy to do. But that's the difference. You're parking or are you camping? Now, number 2 is really surprising. It is legal to sleep in your motorhome or campervan, even if there is a sign that says no camping.
Providing you comply with 3 basic rules. Number 1 is that all 4 wheels must be on the ground. Number 2 is that there are no external things around your van, so step, chairs, etc. And the final one is providing you are in a marked parking space.
So it goes back to point 1, no camping behaviour as well. So those two go hand in hand. You must be within the parking bay itself. Now, here's the nuance to this and a slight warning out there. Some councils, if you are in a touristy area in particular, will not allow you to park and camp overnight anyway. So you may well get moved on, but legally, you can actually stay overnight in your motorhome as long as you are not camping.
Now, number 3 is the reflective vest rule. Now, if you stop on the roadside or on the hard shoulder, you must put on a reflective vest before you leave the vehicle.
Now, here's the quirky bit. You've got to be able to reach your vest from within your vehicle. So from your cab and your habitation point, you've got to be able to grab at it. Now, the Guardia Civil will fine you. So don't bother putting it in your garage or underneath or in a locker or anywhere that's under bedding. You've got to be able to access this very quickly. And we have, but we can barely fit into it after Christmas, can we?
I think I've got a child's one on.
But very important that you carry these as well, and you need 1 per person.
Yep.
So, number 4, headlights, even when it's bright, is pretty strict in Spain.
Yeah, you've got to use them in tunnels, in poor visibility, and in certain circumstances when lane diversions, etc., are marked by a particular sign on the side of the road.
And don't forget, motorhomes are often treated like commercial vehicles in Spain. And if you are caught without your headlights on when you should have them on, and it's a dipped headlight, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can fine you about €200. So make sure that you're putting your dipped headlights on whenever you think you might need to. So, quirky driving difference in Spain number 5 is zero tolerance on alcohol, and the police can test you twice.
Yeah, so the Spanish alcohol levels for driving are lower than the UK. They can, as you say, test you twice. They can test you once at the roadside, and then if you dispute that, they can take you back to the station and test you there.
And the thing is, with the police, they will stop you at any time. They will often stop after fiestas and parties. There's very often a checkpoint. Yep. We've been tested on the roadside, haven't we?
Yep.
What I would say is Spain sell an awful lot of sin alcohol products. So if you want a sin alcohol beer, you never drink and drive, Gary, and you always have a sin alcohol beer. And we would say that those products are excellent, aren't they?
I really enjoy it, actually. Yeah.
So look for sin alcohol if you want to have a beer, but without having a beer, and be legal on the road. Okay, number 6 on our list is speed cameras that you'll never see.
That's right. Now, the Spanish police, they use mobile cameras and they use fixed cameras.
They can also use cameras in unmarked cars.
And cameras that can detect your speed over a certain amount of distance. Now, one thing to remember is that motorhomes, especially motorhomes over 3.5 tons, have a lower speed limit than that is normally registered on the road. So, for example, if you're on a motorway and the speed limit is 120 kilometers an hour, in a motorhome, your limit is 100 kilometers an hour.
I ain't sure that ours would get up to 120 anyway, rattling like crazy. So keep your speed down a little bit. Now, number 7 is wild camping fines. Now, they can vary dramatically from region to region, and they can go from €30 for a fine to up to €3,000 for a fine.
Now, wild camping is different from parking, clearly. Wild camping is, for example, pulling up on a beach or pulling up in waste ground somewhere. Now, some regions will accept it and allow it, but other regions, especially where there's a high tourist industry, will definitely fine you for wild camping on a beach.
So, number 8, this really shocked us, didn't it, Gary?
It did.
You can be fined if you run out of fuel in Spain.
Because in Spain, when you run out of fuel, you're considered to have a lack of due care and creating an avoidable obstruction. Now, especially embarrassing if you're stuck in a small village and blocking the road.
Yeah, and the fines can actually be about €200. So already annoying that you've run out of fuel. Then you get a fine. Then you can't move in a village and everybody's looking. I mean, we've been guilty of that, haven't we?
Yeah. Nearly
running out of fuel. So our advice is always check where you're going to fill up next and make sure you've got at least a quarter of a tank and fill up. We do that now, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We never go below a quarter of a tank anymore if we can help it. Right, number 9 on the list. Listen up if you've got dogs and kids. Dogs must be completely secured when you're driving in Spain.
And kids as well. If your kids are travelling in the habitation bit of the motorhome, they must only be seated where there are proper seat belts fitted.
So, number 10 on our driving advice in Spain is if you get pulled over by the Guardia Civil, who are the national police of Spain, remain calm and be polite at all times.
Now, once a fine is issued, if there a fine is issued, there is almost no arguing. But paying on the spot can often reduce the fine by 50%. So
it's always worth being nice and friendly and polite. It won't do any harm. And if you get hostile, that will cause you problems. So just as you would always be, treat them with a friendly attitude, and I'm pretty sure that you will be fine. Not fine. So, as a little bonus extra, you might have heard about the V16, which came into law in Spain on the 1st of January this year.
Now, the V16 is basically an emergency beacon. Now, you don't need one legally if you are not driving a Spanish registered car. Now, the reason they've been brought in is very simple. It's to inform the Central Highways Agency where there is a blockage on the roads. Now, they don't have to do anything about it. It's still up to you to inform your breakdown people. But if you have one, it's certainly not illegal to have one if you don't drive a Spanish registered car.
As Gary says, it's a legal requirement for Spanish registered cars. So if you don't have a Spanish registered car or motorhome or campervan, you don't really need to worry at the moment. Right, hope you found those 10 rules very useful and helpful before driving in Spain. Now, have you been fined? Do let us know. And how much did you get fined for? We love a bit of goss like that, don't we, Gary?
We do.
We don't. Unfortunately, I hope you didn't get fined. But stay on the right side of the law. It'll be much easier. Now, next vlog up will be us driving in Spain. We have our road trip in Almeria to share with you, and that will be coming out over the next 4 vlogs. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And if you are, thank you very much. And give us a like, a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. And if you're feeling very generous, give us one of them heights. Whoop, whoop, Gary. All right, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Hope this proved very useful for you all. Take care.
Bye.
Ta-ra.